Minnesota Sports Hub. It's the Morning Sports Desk, presented by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and streaming on YouTube.
Powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena, this is the Morning Sports Desk. I'm CJ Baumgartner. There's Corey Tackman. Corey, we are so close to March Madness. We have a bracket challenge we want to let everybody know about. We're going to discuss brackets for State Class A boys basketball, and we're also going to talk about the Minnesota Timberwolves without Anthony Edwards the next couple weeks, how they get through it. We are going to break down all of the stuff on the hardwood, but first, Corey, speaking of big prizes, Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade has an update for big prizes and basketball.
Indeed, they do. The Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena excited to announce the winner of the FunZone 50,000 ticket giveaway. Congratulations to Nathan C. What else is there to say? 50,000 ticket giveaway going to Nathan. Thanks to everyone who participated, and be on the lookout for the next one. The next FunZone giveaway is coming soon. So that's very exciting. That's a fun look back at that big ticket giveaway, but there's more fun to look forward to. Of course, as we know, as CJ mentioned, we're closing in on this March Madness bracket stuff. When the competition heats up, choose the real MVP. Make Pizza Ranch your number one pick this season and order to go for a slam dunk dinner, all from the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade, your companion for March Madness.
That sounds pretty darn good. Big old pizza, college basketball all day. What could be better?
Located in beautiful downtown Wadena, it's the Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade.
Got plenty of TVs there for you to watch all the games as well, to go and enjoy on that buffet.
No doubt.
All right, Corey, let's get into our full-on brackets of
basketball. Give me the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.
The Class A state boys basketball brackets have been released. They had a whole reveal show. I didn't subscribe to it, but I heard it was great. And they jumped on, and we have our bracket here. And then the high school league posted it. We shared it on Sports Cow on Facebook, which you should go follow. Corey, can I get a moo?
Oh,
moo. Because if you look at the bracket that we have here for the Class A State Boys Basketball Tournament, your Henning Hornets are the number one seed in all of Class A. Of course, they have their 30-0 record, 28-0 if we're counting high school league games. The Hornets come in with the undefeated record coming out of the tough Section 6. And really, I mean, maybe you could have had a debate with one or two other schools, but I think there's no big complaints about an undefeated team coming out of the toughest section being the one seed.
No, I think it was in play that Henning was going to be the 1 or the 2 seed. Again, all the sections use QRF to seed their teams. And, of course, the sections are a faction of, an offshoot of the Minnesota State High School League. And then the Minnesota State High School League for their state tournament does not use QRF. If this were QRF seeding, Liberty Classical Academy would be the number one team. But there's some weird kind of hiccups, not hiccups. There's some weird just quirks to go along with this. Henning, just according to QRF, is a 28-0 season. Of course, they're 30-0 overall. They beat two pretty nice North Dakota teams to also to get to that 30-0 record. So there's no QRF crossover across state borders. So that was maybe a little part of this. But as you mentioned, they're the best team out of the best section, and they're undefeated. They probably have the best player in all of Class A basketball. I would argue they have the absolute best player in all of Class A boys basketball. A number one seed for Henning is kind of the no-brainer. The thing that is that surprises me is Liberty Classical is the number one QRF team in the class, and they get a 6 seed. And Cherry is the number 3 QRF team in the class, and they got a 7 seed. So I don't know. That is not a judgment. It's just a surprise by looking at some of this stuff. if they would have been like a 3-4 or something like that, that was the thing that took me off guard, is they got 6 and 7 seeds, even though QRF, according to the QRF, are better than that.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, some from a distance, some head scratchers there when you look at the bracket. But here's how things shape out. Henning is the 1 seed, and they are going to take on the Upsala Cardinals out of Section 5. They are the 8 seed. That is going to be the first game of the day at Target Center. It's an 11 a.m. tip-off, and we will have coverage of that on the Superstation K106, 105.9 FM, streaming online at WadenaRadio.com, the Superstation K106 mobile app. That will be a week from tomorrow. That'll be when they play. And then right after that is going to be the 4-5 game. 4-seeded Southland will take on 5-seeded Hills Beaver Creek. That'll be a 1 o'clock tip-off at the Target Center on Thursday. After that is the 7-seeded Cherry Tigers taking on the 2-seeded Janesville Waldorf Pemberton team. They're the 2 seed, and that game will tip off at 3 o'clock at Target Center. Liberty Classical Academy, like Corey mentioned, is the 6 seed, and they will take on the 3-seeded Red Lake County at 5 o'clock from Target Center that same night. Remember, Red Lake County, they were the team that won Class A in baseball last spring. So still have a lot of those same crew of athletes you suspect rolling around with that team. Corey, if Henning wins against Upsala, and if things go to chalk, you'd expect them to win. They would play the following day, Friday, at noon at the Barn against either Hills, Beaver Creek, or Southland. And if the Hornets were able to make it to the state championship game, that would be on Saturday, an 11 a.m. tip-off on Saturday, March 28th. And that would be how the bracket shakes out. If Henning goes to the consolation bracket or the third-place game at all, those games outside of the main bracket take place at the Gangelhoff Center at the Concordia campus in St. Paul, as is tradition. So quarterfinal round at Target Center. Everything after that, we go back to school for either Williams Arena or for Concordia St. Paul. There is one thing, and I know that they pushed the state tournament back a week, Corey, because of the Golden Gopher women's basketball team who's hosting this week, which is awesome. And I get it. There's relationships you got to maintain. Couldn't you have theoretically just moved games to the Lee and Penny Anderson Arena at St. Thomas?
Yes, if it was available at the time to be rented out.
That's also true.
They didn't schedule these games during the section tournament for these venues. They have agreements in place that go back probably at least a year and probably longer than that. These are probably long-term agreements. I fully suspect the St. Thomas Arena will be a part of the girls and or boys state basketball tournaments in the very near future. But yeah, there's some other agreements that are just already in place.
That's fair. That's a fair point. And it's another fair point to bring up that if you're the University of Minnesota, you are going to do everything in your power to prevent St. Thomas from hosting, because it's not just about hosting and about money and all that stuff and getting concessions or whatever it is and parking. It's also about the fact that you show off your campus, your arena, your things like that. I mean, there's thousands of high school students over the course of the weekend that will be on your campus, and you're using it as a way to be like, hey, wouldn't this be a cool place to go to college at? So there's also that too. I don't think the U of M wants to give up that part of it anytime soon either.
I don't know. Do you think it really is that? Do you think it's that conspiratorial? Do you think they care? Because this is about the high school league trying to find the best deal. Like,
it is about the high school. I'm saying if you're the University of Minnesota, you're hoping that the current arrangement isn't upset at all.
No, I think to me, the thing that changes is the Target Center.
That would be the thing.
And also, you got to remember, there's going to be a bidding war that happens for this. If St. Thomas wants it, like if they lowball the U or however this works, and whatever the high school league's priorities are, right? If they want their kids to play their championship games where the pros play, then the Target. But
they haven't played the championship game at the Target Center in years now.
A few years, but it's always gone back and forth. This is not a recent endeavor. It's always been this way, where there's some years where I remember being a sixth grader and going to Williams Arena for the championship games. So, I don't know. I wonder if it's as conspiratorial as you think.
I'm just wondering. I'm just wondering the motives. behind everything. It's like you said, at the end of the day, it's whichever institution is willing to just meet the demands of the high school league and pay the money.
And they got demands.
Rightfully. It's a big tournament. Draws a lot of people. So, all right. Let's take a look at the AA bracket. Again, this is on the Sports Cow page on Facebook that we've shared some of this stuff. If you go to look at the AA bracket that was released, the Goodhue Wildcats, once again, they moved from Class A to AA. That doesn't slow them down. They are the number 1 seed there. They are going to take on the 8-seeded Perham Yellow Jackets. That'll be a 6 o'clock tip-off at Target Center on Tuesday, March 24th.
Next week, next Tuesday. That wasn't last night.
Nope. Next
it's not
week.
This week. It's next week.
Yep. So that will be that matchup.
Yes.
6 o'clock. On Tuesday night after that, it'll be Albany, however you want to say it.
I know how I want to say it, and it's not the second way.
Albany is going to take on Jackson County Central in the 4-5 game. Jackson County Central, really good for them. They really needed something to go right for them in a sporting event.
Is old Roman, is he a basketball player?
That's a good question. Yes, he is. Yes, he is, because I think Patrick Royce, the Star Tribune, put something out there about how good he looked playing basketball.
Yeah, no, weird. Division I athlete is good at multiple sports. Who could have seen that coming?
I think it ended something like PJ's getting a heck of a player.
I just didn't know if he was a wrestler or a basketball player.
Nope. Although it'd be confusing because Jackson County Central also makes the state wrestling tournament pretty regularly in recent history. So Albany the 5, Jackson County Central the 4. They're going to play at 8 o'clock Tuesday night, next Tuesday at Target Center. Next Wednesday, a week from today at Williams Arena, it will be the 2-7 matchup. Pequot Lakes will take on Blake. Pequot Lakes got the 2 seed coming out of Section 7 AA for the Patriots. 6 o'clock tip-off in that one. And then following that game will be the 3-6 matchup. 3-seeded Minnehaha, 6-seeded Waseca. On that Thursday is when the semifinal games would take place. Or I beg your pardon, Friday is when the semifinal games would take place. State championship will be on the Saturday, of course. So, and of course, like the Class A bracket, all the AA games will take place at Concordia St. Paul as well. Corey, anything stand out to you in the AA bracket?
Go Jackets, go Patriots.
Yep, there you go. Let's just take a quick peek at the 3A bracket. Minneapolis South, the 8 seed, they take on Totino Grace. 4-5 matchup, 4-seeded Northfield takes on 5-seeded Mankato East. And number 2-seeded De La Salle takes on 7-seeded Grand Rapids. 3-seeded Richfield takes on 6th-seeded Sartell. And here's the thing, if you're a Mankato East or if you're any school competing in this bracket, Totino Grace, Alexandria boys basketball, no longer in the Class 3A tournament. They moved up last year after winning the championship to Class 4A. And you think, well, will there be an adjustment period there? Will it take a little bit for them to get back to Class A, get back to state in Class 4A? No, they're back. They are in the state tournament. Once again, they get the 6th seed. They will take on the 3-seeded Maple Grove. And then, of course, it's a who's who here in Class 4A. Talked about Maple Grove. You have the 2-seeded Wayzata, 7-seeded Apple Valley, 4-seeded Lakeville South, 5-seeded Chaska, 1-seeded Tartan, 8-seeded Blaine for the tournament. Corey, it's a who's who in 3 and 4A. Anything stand out there?
It always is. That's just there's not a lot of teams in those classes.
Nope.
So you get to see some pretty familiar names year in and year out. They're like, is it going to be Lakeville South or Lakeville North, the Section 1 champion? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Once in a while, one of the Rochester schools will come out of there, like they did on the girls' side. It was Rochester Mayo. Every once in a while, but yeah, usually this is pretty. Blaine is like, I feel like you don't see Blaine that often, but no surprise. There's no Hopkins. That's probably the big one.
Yep.
But Maple Grove is right back in it again, and yeah, no, it's pretty straightforward stuff.
Pretty straightforward stuff Okay, Corey, let's go to something that's a little more straightforward too, and that's the NCAA tournament bracket. And even though we don't have a big cash prize, we still want to see what your brackets are and compete against you for bragging rights. So, Corey, give us a little bit of that info. What do we need to know?
On ESPN, they do a big tournament challenge, bracket challenge, whatever it's called. The group is Superstation K106. So just search Superstation K106 amongst the groups. Join the group. I'm already in it. You'll see my name. And hopefully we get some other people to join. Whatever, just for fun. The message has gone out to you and Zeke and Kyle and Jared and James and Trent and Matt in our building. And then it has gone out to listeners and supporters of what we're doing at the radio station and the morning sports desk and the sports cow, whatever. So just join it. It's for fun. It's for bragging rights. We'll make fun of people along the way.
Ourselves included, but less ourselves than anybody else, because I don't want to hurt my own feelings. Right.
Live that way. And, yeah, I think that's it. It's on the ESPN app or their website. Search for Superstation K106. That's the group name. Join. It's free for fun. And don't be last. We'll make fun of you.
Cue the music. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't that feel good to have that? It might be this March Madness theme for CBS one of the greatest scores that accompany these sports broadcasts. If you think of the NFL on Fox, maybe think of ESPN's Baseball Tonight or the Sunday Night Baseball, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, all of these different individual themes that these networks come up with. Nothing gets me going more than hearing this one, followed by you get Jim Nance, you get Ian Eagle, you get Kevin Harlan coming in on here. I mean, you just hear followed by good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen from Orlando. I'm Kevin Harlan. And you're ready to go.
Let's go.
Corey, what are your plans for March Madness? Because I know that you are going to be basically spending a lot of time with your couch for these games.
No, you said it. Those are the plans. I took half days tomorrow and Friday.
Yeah.
When I get off the air, I'm going home and I'm going to prep with probably an early sort of lunch, maybe just an early nap. And then I don't know, maybe some pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. And I am going to not move until I have to go to the bathroom or until my wife and children come home from school.
And even when they come home, it's move out of the way. You're in the way of the TV.
They're going to dust the pizza crust off my belly and wake me up and say, can we watch? And I'm going to say, you have to go downstairs. Daddy's got basketball.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Plans. I have no plans other than the obvious plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's talk a little Minnesota Timberwolves to wrap up the show. Anthony Edwards had some knee soreness that is going to keep him out for the next 1 to 2 weeks. They said diagnosis, and this is according to John Krasinski of The Athletic, was basically saying that it's precautionary. Basically, it's just swelling a little bit, and they're like, they just figure it's best now to give it 1 to 2 weeks of rest. That way he's fully ready to go by playoffs. The long-term implications don't really seem that bad. This is just the Wolves taking an abundance of caution. But really where it does have the impact, Corey, is in the schedule over the next couple weeks of games, trying to make sure that they can avoid the play-in, which is always a key thing to do in the West. And last night was a big test because everybody thought after the Ant announcement, the way the Wolves have been playing the last few games, that, oh my gosh, the Suns are going to come in. They're going to win this game. They're going to be in the driver's seat. They're going to kick the Wolves to the play-in. And here we go again. The sky is falling. And Corey, I don't know how I can justify this, But
Okay.
the moment they said Anthony Edwards was going to be out, and for the next hour, everybody on social media was melting down about what the Wolves were going to do, I was like, I would bet my house that the Wolves are winning tonight against the Phoenix Suns.
Sure.
And they won against the Phoenix Suns.
And they did. They beat them.
They beat them. They got a victory last night. Good Bones Highland game. All of the Bones fanatics, please stand up. And overall, Jaden McDaniels, if you could get, somebody said if you could get Jaden McDaniels contacts or glasses that make every player on the court become Devin Booker, he will turn into the greatest defender of all time.
Yeah, that's
that
true.
guy does not like Devin Booker. He threw the basketball at him at his timeout. Did you see that?
I didn't see it, but that's why we like. It's one of the reasons we like Jaden is he's kind of a stinker. And I say that because I'm a fan. If I were someone else, if I were a fan of another team, I would probably have a different word to describe Jaden McDaniels, but he's on my team, so I like him, and he's kind of got a stick up his butt about certain guys, and I enjoy that a lot because as a fan, I have a stick up my butt about Devin Booker also.
Exactly. You see him get mad at him, and you're like, oh, you're just like me. For real. He can't stand this guy either.
I respect more in a player for a team that I like than them disliking the same people as much as I dislike them.
Yep. And this goes back to our other theme for the Wolves, right? Of somebody made this point on Twitter where it's the Minnesota Timberwolves are like the Minnesota climate. If you don't like it, it's going to change by next week. So don't get too up in arms about it. And that is the Minnesota Timberwolves experience. The Wolves got to win. They're 6-4 in their last 10, despite everybody acting like they've gone 2-8. And they are 42-27, tied with Denver record-wise for the 5 seed, tied with the Rockets in terms of games back for the 4 seed, and they are a game and a half back of the Lakers for the 3 seed. And the Suns now are 3 games behind the Timberwolves. So you have that going for them as well. Let's look at the Timberwolves' remaining schedule here, or at least over the next couple weeks, which basically is the remaining schedule of the season. The Timberwolves will play tonight. They have their second night of a back-to-back. This is against the Utah Jazz. Corey, this is one where I would bet my money the Timberwolves will lose tonight.
Yeah.
Because this is the Minnesota Timberwolves experience. But they play the Jazz tonight. Then on Friday, they host the Trailblazers. They're getting their home games out of the way because they know they got to get out of here for the state tournament next week. And they will then go on Sunday to play the Boston Celtics. Next Wednesday, they will play the Rockets. Then they will take on the Pistons, both of Rockets and the Pistons at home next week. And then the Mavericks, they go to Dallas to take on the Mavericks. Got the Pistons again, the Sixers again, the Hornets again, the Pacers again, the Magic, the Rockets, the Pelicans. So there's a good mix of tanking teams there and some high-profile teams. I think, if we think the Wolves go 500 in these final games, we think that's probably fine, especially considering most of them are without Anthony Edwards? Or is there a mandate of, no, the Wolves need to win 10 out of their last 14?
I mean, you'd like them to be playing well. So if that's what you're asking, if you're asking me, would I prefer they play well or prefer they play average, I would take them.
What is your baseline expectation?
The Timberwolves are good, CJ. They've been good for 5 years now. I expect the Timberwolves to win most of their games most of the time.
Yep.
That's it. That's my expectation for the Timberwolves. They're too damn good at basketball and have a track record of being good at basketball, even without Anthony Edwards. This is a good basketball team. They should probably win most of their games.
Let's go through this stretch here just to wrap things up today. They play the Jazz tonight. They win it.
Where is it?
In Minneapolis.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay. We got
I didn't know we were doing predictions.
Let's go through it. Gut level feeling. They play the Trailblazers on Friday at Target Center. Win or lose?
Win.
Okay. They play the Celtics in Boston on Sunday.
Are the Trailblazers good?
They're okay. They play the Wolves really tough. They're kind of towards the bottom of the. Right now, their record is 33-36.
Sure.
They're the 10th team in the West.
Yeah, I'll say win, and then I'll say a loss in Boston.
Loss in Boston on Sunday. And then they will play the Houston Rockets at home, 8:30 tip-off primetime game.
Say it again. Against who?
Rockets.
Houston's so weird. I don't know. What do you think? You pick this one.
I'm going to say they lose this one.
Okay.
Then they host the Pistons on Saturday. It's a 4:30 game. The Wolves are awful in afternoon games, but I think they pulled this one out. I think they hate Detroit enough that they have enough animosity with them that they'll play hard.
Maybe, other than the fact that it's the Eastern Conference game and they don't care about Eastern Conference.
Until Naz Reid throws punches, in which case then the Wolves all of a sudden really care.
Shout out Naz Reid.
Shout out Naz Reid. Then they play the Mavericks. I got that one as a win. They go to Detroit. I'll count that one as a loss. No,
that's fine. I'm fine with that.
They go to Philadelphia to take on the Sixers. Win or lose?
Is Maxey going to be good?
Potentially. They also traded McCain for no reason to the Thunder. Thanks, Daryl Morey.
I win. Sure. Let's do win.
Okay. Then they play the Hornets at home.
Win.
that
Although
would be your trap game.
The Hornets are fun.
They are feisty. I still have it as a win.
Yeah, win's fine.
They go to the Pacers, Eastern Conference team that's tanking, late season. Is this a trap game for the Wolves?
How many are we past Ant yet? Is it back yet by this game?
Ant should be back by then.
Ant should be back by this game. Is it on a back-to-back?
No, there's a day of rest in between.
Win.
Okay, the Magic on the road in Orlando. I'll take this as a loss.
Yep, that's fine. Fine.
Rockets in Houston, primetime tip-off.
Yeah, probably a loss.
Okay.
Yeah, probably a win.
Okay. And then to wrap up the season, Pelicans at home.
Definitely a loss. Guaranteed loss.
All right. Through their final 13 games, you have them going 8-5. That sounds fair. I think that's the baseline expectation.
They're a good basketball team. I don't know. What did you expect Henning basketball to do this year? To win more than they lost?
I mean, yeah, that's an oversimplification, but yeah.
But it's not. They're a good basketball team who's going to win most of their games over the course of most stretches of basketball throughout the season.
Turns out for Henning, it's been all of it.
Right. Turns out. But the Timberwolves, I think the same logic applies. They're good. This is a team that's made 2 Western Conference finals in a row. Are they going to this year? I don't know. Probably not. But that doesn't mean they're bad at basketball.
And if you go on Twitter, Corey, you will understand that the Wolves are bad at everything and Finch is the worst coach ever. They can't develop anybody. They stink, and nothing good will come of them. That is one perspective that exists. That is true. It's the wrong perspective, but it's one that exists. Well, there's a lot of, that's fine. But I think you know by now that I don't base a lot of my opinions on what social media tells me. Are you sure? Because there's a lot of people that are loud over there. Listen, the only one that no, they are quite loud. That is true. You're right about that. Sports Desk. I didn't want to get in trouble, so I think we'll end on you're correct about that. Morning Sports Desk, powered by Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade in Wadena. We'll see.
Powered by Wadena's Pizza Ranch and FunZone Arcade. Follow the Morning Sports Desk on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And watch every show on YouTube.